Hello, LGBTQ plus DL men, women who secretly love us and support us. And if you don't identify with any of those labels, you're still free to subscribe to the YouTube channel.
You know me better than I do. Can't seem to keep nothing from you. Nobody ever loved me like
So today, my ears look kind of big, and I keep looking at them. So hold on. But as you've seen this video, I've sort of spoken in the thumbnail. You've seen what the video is going to be about. So yeah, this work. So I just kind of want to get straight into the story because it's different from the video that I posted where I spoke about coming out and I put psychic edition. So this will actually be like the official kind of story about me actually coming out as a gay man. Sort of like a two-part story. So the first part is very simple. I was actually outed by a girl that I called my god sister at the time. And the way that this story sort of came about is that she I still have communicated with her in my adult life, so we're still communicative, I guess you can say, when we see each other. But now that I have evolved into this medium that I am now, I haven't spoken with her recently, I guess you can say. But anyway, she was coming out of the closet, I guess you can say, as a lesbian to her mom, and she decided to tell her mom that she and I were both gay. And so typical Scorpio. So when she told her mom that my mom, when I got out of high school, my mom asked me, was I gay? And so that was kind of that. Then she brought me, not at this house, but the other house, because I told you that there's another house. She took me to my great aunt's house, and, sort of, I guess it was kind of like supposed to be an intervention, but I think that she didn't know how to deal with it. And at the same time, because she was conditioned that gay was wrong, she just didn't want any parts of the experience of her child that she found out was gay. And I do have to say this because it's important. When I got into the car that day, she said, you better not, and I want to say this before I speak on this because it's important. Some parents aren't educated on gay men. And my mom that day, when getting in the vehicle, she said, and Amanda said that you and her were gay, and you better not be touching your brother. And so it's gotten really easy to speak about it now, maybe not directly to her, because I know that it probably is difficult to hear that she said this, but it probably not at the same time. Because I think that when people think a certain thing, until those patterns of thoughts are broken down, people don't really see, they don't see what they're doing as, or hear what they're saying and knowing that is harmful, right? And especially that being my young adult life, and that being a memory that I have of her, that I've come to understand a lot of things about it. And I want to say that not sympathizing with the way that she was thinking, but more sympathizing with the conditioning that she didn't uncondition, like the conditioning of those thoughts, like for her to think that I would do that to my little brother. And she had also she had first, oh, there was a story before that. And this is how I sort of also know that I'm meant to be on this twin flame journey. And I spoke about it in a past video, because I heard that if you're truly on a twin flame journey, right, you'll have signs that will show you that you're on a twin flame journey. And there are these twins that live, like, I guess on the other street, because I'm not sure what y'all call, like, the other block or around the block or things like that. I'm not sure what y'all call that, but it was the street that was before, it was the street that was in front of the street that I was on with my mom, that when I was growing up, right? Well, I would travel to the library with these twin brothers, and they we would often go there to either I think first it started as I had to do a project on the internet, and I didn't have internet at my mom's house at that time, because it was like I'm not sure the year, but anyway, I just knew I was in high school. I had to have been in 11th grade or 10th grade, because I don't think I wasn't driving at that time. It may have been ninth grade. It was ninth or 10th, either of those two. And so I think it was 10th. And so, speaking back on the library experience with those twins, we would just go and be on, like, gay chat websites and things like that, chatting with other gay boys and things like that, from what I remember. But oftentimes too, we would read books or look at books and stuff like that, so that whenever we couldn't use the computer and things like that. But one morning, because I would watch my brother until my grandmother would take me to school, or drive me to school, and then drive my little brother to our my brother would either stay with my grandma, I think, sometimes, but he would also stay with the girl who said that we were both Amanda. He would stay with Amanda's grandmother, who is no longer she's no longer living anymore, Amanda's grandma. But yeah, she would wake me up so that I could make sure that my brother, just kind of watch him while he was sleeping, to ensure that he was okay, because he was young at that time. I think he was like a toddler, But anyway, when she said that morning, and she was saying that she was going to check his bum hole, just to kind of, yeah, it's cringe for her to think that. It's cringe. But anyway, she said, and you better not be messing with your little brother. And I think that, like, it was sickening to think that she would even think that. But at the same time, not to totally sympathize with the way that she thought, but somebody had to condition her to think that way. And saying that she was going to check his butt to make sure he didn't have a rash or something like that. So to me, it was kind of like, well, damn, is that what she thinks of me? But anyway, that was like the first incident before my god sister, I called her my god sister, before she outed herself and then saying that I was gay too to her mom. And her mom called my mom, and my mom was like, when I got in the car, she was just like, you messing with your not messing with your little brother. She said, "Are you gay?" And I was just kind of like, and she was like, "Don't touch your brother." And I was like, "What? Like what?" So after that, I sort of started staying with my great aunt. You know, I think I was around 15, 16 around that time because I know my brother. Uh, he had to been more than a year. And so after that, I started. I moved very close to where I am now. And yeah, that's pretty much my coming out story. My great aunt, cause my grandmother, when she asked me, I I think I've lied and told her that I wasn't because of the things that my mom had already said that morning. It was just easier um, to tell her that I think I may have told her I was bisexual, maybe. Or no, I think I denied it. I think I denied it at that point. And I think that a lot of men feel that it's easier for people to digest them being bisexual than it is to digest them being homosexual. But I think that it's best to just be truthful with who you are. I think that a lot of within times now is is easier with the information about coming out being so upfront for people to understand being gay and things like that. I think it is way more accepted than it was in the past, but I think that prior to the Bible being written, right? Because I think that many people get their idea of gay being wrong from the Bible, and people that just view it as being wrong from the Bible. But you have to think about it as this way. That's an opinion from somebody who lives the lifestyle of a heterosexual being that wrote that passage. And somebody else may have a different perspective. And as you saw in another video, I spoke about being gay sort of like when two dogs that are male, are intimate, doing doggy style. Anyway, just think about it this way. Who tells those dogs to do that? They're going off the energy and the want for them to do it. And if dogs are naturally doing that, why would it? Is it wrong? Like any other animal that does it like that. Nobody's telling them wrong because it's just the animal's natural way of living, just like it's the human's natural way of being, to feel energy and the want to experience intimacy with another being. But anyway, I think that I can't remember exactly if I told my grandmother that I was or was not, but I want to say, if I'm remembering correctly, that I told her that I wasn't, because just from what my mom had already said, in relation to my little brother. So I just told her that it was just like, or I may have did tell her the truth, because I remember telling her that, I was like, I just don't even feel like going to school that day. I remember because I had a some type of exam or something like that at school. And when my god sister had spoken out and said that she and I both were gay, and she had already been experiencing some things with her mom that led up to that. And so I think that maybe it was just easier for her to say that we both were, to kind of take the heat off of her. But at the same time, when we were when I got in the vehicle and then she drove me to my great aunt's house, I think she also drove me up to my great aunt's house just to ensure that I wasn't doing anything with my little brother. And so now as an adult, I kind of question, like, did she think that I was, that I would do something like that, Yeah. But the actual day that I told her, I think that I know years had kind of went by, and I was actually like in college, and or maybe yeah, because I went straight to college after high school. But I know it may have been like the transition from high school to college. I had had some kinky twists, and if you don't know about kinky twists, you actually put synthetic hair. You add it to your hair to braid it and then twist it, and so it has like these like twists. Like hold on, I can show y'all. But anyway, this is all my real hair. My real hair, yeah, and locks is what they call it. But they're like this almost, but they're like two strand with synthetic hair. But this is real hair. But anyway, that's kind of what they look like, but they're just smaller and with synthetic hair. And so when she asked me to come over her house one day, I was like, "Oh, I don't want to come over there." She had actually came over the house, and I didn't open the door. I didn't open the door, and so she had called me and said, "You didn't want to see me and your brother," and things like that. And so I kind of was like upset because I didn't want her to think that I didn't love them, I didn't care about them. And so I went over there later that night, and I opened up, and it was just like, I got this hairstyle done, and that's why I didn't want to come over. And so she was like, I still love you and things like that. But I don't think think I still was like I'm gay, because we had already had the high school experience where she was, where she asked me was I gay, and then but when she did ask me was I gay, I think I told her no that time. And then you know her taking me to my great aunt to ask me again, I think I was still like in denial about it, even though everybody already knew. So I'm kind of like, why y'all asking me? Y'all already know. But yeah, so I think when I had my hair like I had it, she was just like many men, to make me feel better. I think she did it as a mother. She was just like, many men, they're getting like the locks with their hair, but they're it was twist or whatever. And so I think she did that to this sort of soothe what I was feeling, because she already knew it was difficult for me to be open about it. But I want to say the actual parent that I actually told first probably was my dad. And I opened up to him about me being afraid to open up to her because of these things that had occurred prior to, me, coming out as gay. So yeah. And when I told my dad, it was he was very accepting, and he said that prior to me coming out to him, he actually asked a family member, and you know, that family member had already. That family member also confronted me and said, "Well, I know you gay," so it was kind of like, "Oh, well, I don't have to even come out to him." So that was actually my aunt on my dad's side, or my dad's brother-in-law, actually was open with me about being gay prior to any other family member. And so that was kind of like a moment that was just kind of like acceptance. So he was the first family member that truly accepted me, that really wasn't a blood relative. And I think that it's like that for many beings. But anyway, after he kind of was just like we already know that you're gay, I was like, I was expecting everybody else to be like that too. But no, when he was able to say, I know that you're gay, and didn't do it in a way that was kind of like, it wasn't like rejection. It was just like, well, I already know that, and I'm accepting you. It was kind of like, okay, well, I'm accepted. So when I had to talk with my dad, it was kind of like already easy to talk to my dad, because there was another male figure that was able to accept me for who I was. And I think that even now, I may present, or identify as being the feminine energy within the collective of twin flames, I still present as being a man, sort of. The reason that I say sort of is because you're probably not going to witness me playing any type of like masculine sport that is like popular, like football or basketball. And if I do, it's probably because somebody else asked me, or maybe I'm just wanting to, try something new. But I try something new. Yeah, but I last played basketball with my little brother outside, and my mom's now ex-boyfriend, who has the same name as me. And yeah. Anyway, I want to say that my great aunt, she was kind of, now she was the first person to to experience me with my now ex-fiance, because I kind of like came out to her in that way, just bringing him there, because it was kind of like when I said earlier that I present or identify as the feminine energy, I still have masculine ways. I think that there's no such thing truly as masculine or feminine, although it is, but it isn't, because I'm just who I am. And when we start adding labels, that kind of separates the idea that we can exist as fully complete beings. I can present feminine how I want to. I can present masculine how I want to. I just present who I am, and what other people perceive that to be is their business. Even if it is about me, how they are experiencing me is how they are experiencing me. They can have that experience, or it's theirs, their perception. Can't take that away from them. But anyway, yeah. But I was speaking about my great aunt. She pretty much was. How some parents start reading the Bible and being like, oh, yeah, da, 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 da. Like, as she has gotten older, I've heard her say some things about, I've seen some things about that she's written in the past that said that she believes that men should be with women, because within the past, that is some things that they are taught. That is ways that they are conditioned, but those things are changing. Anyway, my dad's wife, she accepted it, and she also has a gay son. So my stepbrother, he is gay. She has two sons, so one of them is gay, and yeah, she had a best friend who he is now on the other side. He was gay, and they were really cool friends with the family. And when he would come by, I think I met him like maybe once or twice at the family function that they would have. But yeah, yep. I'm trying to think of some other moments that kind of came out. I think like for people, I had a best friend who, and the reason that I don't call these people like my best friends still is because we haven't been in communication. So I'm just not sure where our relationship stands. And, I enjoy speaking from a place of truth and leading with truth. So to call them my best friend and they may not feel that way, that would mean it's just one-sided. But anyway, these people who were my best friend, I think when I told them, it's kind of like, or even when I just spoke about it to anyone, especially when I told my dad and my mom, well, when they became aware that I like the same sex, I think that was another thing my mom had said. My mom, when she first had found out, she was like, and I'm going to tell your dad that you're gay. And I'm just like, okay. And my she was like, I'm gonna tell your brother's dad, if you've been doing something to your brother. And I'm just like, Child, no. But the reason that I understand that there are individuals that are like that. So for me to say, oh, she was wrong for it, she was wrong for saying those things, I can understand that there are people that are like that. And there are a lot of, even when kids are in school and then those school, shootings take place. And I don't want to speak about those things because they're such sensitive topics. But to bring transparency to what I'm speaking about, parents grow their children or raise their children up from a very young age, as they're an infant, in the womb and things like that. And then they do actions that are not like themselves. So maybe she was in that state of mind, but at the same time, it is not my baggage to carry. So I released it. It is what it is. And because I'm speaking about it to maybe be comforting to somebody else who has experienced something with a parent that is similar to the story that I had. Now, I do want to say this because I think that because we have shifted into a experience that is easier for people to come out as gay, I want to say that there are some people that make it difficult for people to be authentic to themselves. Like, for example, my great aunt was telling me that her own sister was, having her feel some type of way about purchasing something that she was able to purchase, but the price tag on it was just kind of expensive. And so, what that showed me is that they're just in two different mindsets when it comes to a lack mindset and a mindset of abundance. And so anyway, in reference to that, into the being able to come out, I think we have to become aware that there are going to be opposing forces in the idea of coming out as gay, because that is the way that this experience of life is set up for light and dark, so duality, night and day, light, dark, positive, negative. There is that to have a balance. I mean, think about if everybody was heterosexual, then that would just give the complainers nothing to complain about. I mean, even think about how people speak about the HIV and AIDS, and how when people hear that a person is gay, they kind of respond the same way that my mom responded when she asked me, was I gay? They respond with and you sleeping with niggas, so you better not have HIV and AIDS and things like that. Like, that is just what people are conditioned to think. That is just their pattern of thoughts. When they hear gay, they say HIV or AIDS, especially when they have been portraying to be with women for a long amounts of time. Or, that every gay man likes to sleep with other gay men, and that's just not true. But I think within these times, if we could shift the idea of being gay into something more kind and more accepting of people liking what they like, then it can make the experience of being a human more enjoyable. I think that, gay is the least of people's problems. It is. I even thought about how Terry Jones was like, you little faggot, like. So anyway, that word wasn't too nice, was it? But I think that certain generations, we are accustomed to certain words being used to describe certain things, like afagay, afajets, right? Afajets. That word is kind of used to explain a certain type of gay man. And yeah, I think that in terms of a person wanting to come out, I think you first have to accept yourself so that other beings can accept you. Because if you haven't truly accepted yourself, then you can't expect for other people to accept you. And I think that this is what is coming up. When I think about how women sometimes say that they wouldn't date a bisexual man, it's understandable for this reason, that I used to think the same thing. Even as a gay man, I would be like, I wouldn't want to have a partner that, would be able to experience me and then say, oh, well, I'm just about to go over to my girlfriend's house or something like that. Sorry if that truck was loud. But what I was saying was, I wouldn't want it to be intimate with a man and then him be like, oh yeah, I'm about to go to my girlfriend's house. And like, what? Nigga, what? 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 But back to what I was saying. I wouldn't kind of want it to be like that, but what that is showing me is that A, could be choosing the wrong type of men, because that's showing that there's no trust within the type of men that I am trying to date. Or B, that could be insecurity that I am not worthy enough to receive a certain type of man, if that makes sense. And so when you become secure within who you are, those things just sort of is like, who cares what they like? What are me and you experiencing? So when you are secure with who you are and you are in acceptance of who you are, you know who you are. You know who not only they are, who they are in the relationship, but you know who you are, who you're bringing into the relationship. And that's something that I received in the beginning of my healing journey, is that I had to understand what it meant to not only in terms of finding a new partner or manifesting the partner that's going to come in for me, is that you should not only know the type of person that you're bringing in, and honestly, when a new person is coming in, you won't know them fully in the idea of maybe the past things that have truly experienced. But I mean, being a medium, there's sort of kind of like an advantage, right? But what I'm saying is, to a person that's just not aware of their gifts, if you're looking to date someone new, or someone new is entering your life, you should not only know the partner, but you should know yourself. You should know the person that they're sharing their experience with. Yeah. And although you could tell them so many things about yourself, it's for them to, the reason that it's best for you to know yourself is so that you can exist with them. You can, I was going to say coexist, but you can exist with them and kind of merge and become one within the experience of each other. Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. But I think that, and I had this idea that I wanted to say, is that even if people aren't going to, there are going to be people that are your ops to your growth, right? because those people are also helping you to become strong within the identity of who you are. Even as a psychic medium, there's people, even my mom has said, you don't she said you ain't psychic, you don't know what you're talking about. And as I have healed, I realized that those type of unconscious beings can be helpful to your journey because they allow you to understand how strong you are in the idea of who you are. Because when I started receiving the signs or the clairvoyance and the clairsentience and things like that, I realized, oh, I am really a psychic. And I had to shut off that voice of her saying those things that weren't true. But I realized that it's just a part of the matrix that you have to kind of learn how to learn the matrix allowed the understanding that I am in tune with what I know, I am in alignment with what I know and who I am, and to continue experiencing that alignment. And also to find balance in the experience of those people who didn't believe. So, yeah. That is how I can say, or that is my idea of what could help other beings be open with who they are. Yeah. And for any boy out there, if you're a top, I'm a twin flame. You thought I was gonna say you can date me, right? I got a twin flame. Y'all seen that filter go? Y'all see it? Be you, be authentic. We live in times now. You could like a dog and a cat. You can like Pussycat. You can like Thangalang. You can like hermaphrodites that got the Pussycat and the Thangalang and the Cucciano. You can like all of them things. What they got to do with me? Okay? But yeah, I'm kind of open to dating. Yeah, but at the same time, I got a twin flame. Alright, until we see each other again, I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and until next time, toodaloo.
Like damn, she in her mood. Like damn, she in her mood. Like damn, she in her mood. She lit, get money too. Like damn, she in her mood. In the mirror, I'm doing my dance. Ain't packing out nobody's pants. He a rapper, but don't got a chance. Stuck in my waist, so I'm loving my bands. Like 1 million views in a day. There's so many ways to get paid. I tried dipping, he begged me to stay. Babe, I'm not staying, I just wanna play.